So I'm guessing that you drew a considerable amount of inspiration for the whole healing of racism thing from the Baha'i writings. Can you tell us, what you found particularly helpful?
Well, there were a number of things. First was Baha'u'llah's principle of the oneness and wholeness of the human family, the oneness of humankind. Secondly was his and later Abdu'l-Baha's articulation that the reality of man is his thought. So we started working on those as well. Then we did some serious study of the Guardian, Shoghi Effendi's writings. And not exclusively, but with considerable emphasis on, and focus, I should say, on the Advent of Divine Justice, the section that is commonly known as the most challenging and vital issue. And in that, the Guardian, excuse me, makes some stunning comments, and he offers a brilliant analysis of the issue of race prejudice in the United States. Well, the letter, Advent of Divine Justice, was addressed to the Baha'is of the United States and Canada because it was one community when it was written back in 1938. But he says, let the whites, who have a sense of superiority that is often unconsciously held or subconsciously held, divest themselves of this notion of superiority. And he said they should refrain from being impatient from those who have received such a long and slow healing wound of racial prejudice, born by racial prejudice and discrimination and so on. And they named a number of other things that whites need to do, like that. And we're reading, I said, wow, this is something, and we all read it for years, but we never really read it and analyzed it, did critical analysis of it. Then, the Guardian is even-handed. The faith is the faith of the middle way. He says the golden mean, right? So what did he say? He says, let the Negro show a corresponding measure of patience, of love, of forbearance, and so forth, and what have you, and they give evidence or willingness to demonstrate their willingness to forgive and forget the past. So you say, wow, you take a look at that and say, wow, it doesn't matter what the groups are. Any two groups or more that are in conflict with one another, they have to do that. If they're related to issues of we're better than them and that sort of thing, then they've got to do that. And so that became seminal as a kind of an organizing principle in terms of our analysis of the problem of racism and racial discrimination and prejudice in North America. Laying that on American and Canadian societies and so forth, and then analyzing it through that template. It just revealed disclosed all kinds of interesting and important information for us. There's another passage where the Guardian, writing through his secretary, tells his friend that it is good that they're advocates for justice, racial justice, and so forth and whatever. But he says you should not go at it so adamantly that you kind of alienate your other Baha'i friends and so forth. Unity is important, but not a unity that would cause you not to take action and not to do things, but a unity that would guide you on taking appropriate action with the appropriate loving regard and spirit of kindness for other people. Take that and say, okay, that means then when we're dealing with healing racism, it cannot be confrontational. You cannot allow people to engage in crosstalk, because crosstalk leads to argumentation, debates, and blaming. So there's a lot of debates, especially in university campuses, right? Produces a lot of smoke, but no light. That's not going to be helpful. And then we looked at some notions about consultation, and one of them is to ascertain the facts, all right? So in history, the recounting of history and so forth, and a number of other things, sociological things and so forth, we find that the facts are not accurate. So the inaccurate facts create distortions, okay, in perception and people's understanding. So we're looking at now correcting those facts, those mistaken views and notions and misrepresentations and so forth. And the misrepresentation by omission or commission. You either omit it or you deliberately make a plan not to include it and so forth, or you talk down or belittle what contributions other people and groups have made and so on. So these are some of the things that we've gleaned from the writings of the faith and have attempted to apply in our work with healing racism.